A woman tells her friend that they were almost finishing and was getting beautiful. The young woman replies that where she did the hairstyles charged expensive but offered coffee and tea while here nor water offered, so comparing to a bad service. The woman says the hairstyle is ready and says the price. The young woman replies that she could only be going crazy for being a high price. The woman says she did what she asked, beyond and wash and pass a special cream, but the young woman denies, saying she did not ask for everything and just the hairstyle, and compliments on the other place that does better nor charged as much as she. The woman asks if she was pricing her own work because in addition everything took hours to finish and on top was complaining. The young woman says that no matter how much time she spent and that the hairstyle was not worth all that, saying that only brought half of what she asked because it was what she was used to pay and was what she would receive because there was no more. The woman questions why it was not in the other cheap salon instead of hers. The young woman replies that she would not waste her time neglecting and that the 50 reis was what it was worth for the hairstyle, thus going away with debauchery. The laughing woman doubting what she's been through. A man on the phone says he was waiting for his wife and so had to leave, so says goodbye because she would have arrived. The man asks how things were and she shows how her hair was. The man praises and says it probably cost more than 100 reis because her turn so beautiful. The young woman says that she was beautiful and was only charged 50 reis. The man is surprised to be very cheap because it was very beautiful, and asks if he remembered how much he charged in the old house. The young woman answers that they charged 100 reis and the man says that it is practically the same value and asks if there was money left. His wife rips on that it was not okay because the woman wanted to charge 100 reis in the hair, then talks about having Dido that the woman who charged only 50 reis. The woman replies that she paid only 50 reis because it was agreed that it would not be so expensive. The man praises the work and that could not come out pricing, but the young woman replies that paid because neither was served with coffee nor water and that really worth 50 reis. The man questions about not paying what was asked just because it was not served, and another, everyone in the street of the hall knows him, and then the woman who would charge him, thus being seen badly by everyone. The young woman denies because as she was treated she did not even deserve to be paid, reminding him that she moved to the cheaper city then could compare prices. The man replies that it was not by comparison but in knowing if what was offered was of quality, because he could not leave putting a price on the work of others because he liked the work of the person then who paid, so asking that you put an end to it and that the woman has conformed to only 50 reis. The young woman makes it clear that she would have to feel resigned because it was what she paid for. The man agrees and that they would see together what she would give after all. Another young woman praises her patience and the woman asks the reason. The young woman says that she herself saw that she received wrong for the service. The woman agrees and adds that she really had to have patience to keep the business, wondering if it was with someone else because you spent more than an hour doing the hairstyle and still price the work paying what you want. The young woman agrees, affirming the absurdity besides being seeing everything waiting. The woman says that if it was only for the hairstyle would accept, but on top she washed and used their quality products and with everything was the highest quality. The young woman questions how she can pay less because it is below what she charged. The woman explains that she has a good heart and sometimes lets things pass, thus stating who would have lost was the young girl. Her friend agrees. The woman states that in the salon that woman did not enter more because the doors were closed for her and that probably she is accustomed to do in several salons the same, thus leaving no options to be able to do their hairstyles. The young woman says that even if she charged 500 reis she would pay because leaving without paying was not the right thing to do. The woman makes it clear that she would no longer do her hair, wondering if all customers would do the same. So asking if she just wanted to iron her hair, but the young woman says she wanted to wash her hair too, and the woman says she would have to talk before, but still would do the job, thus asking if she wanted to use the expensive or cheaper products. The young woman answers that the quality because she was blonde, but did not worry because she would pay for the fare. Sister-in-law says that she was crazy to meet her because they only spoke by calls, and the young woman agrees that they finally met, explains that she would not stay long in the city because everything was too expensive, and the sister-in-law questions. The young woman replies that the prices were exaggerated. The sister-in-law is surprised to explain that she was charged 100 reis for the simple hairstyle and where she lived was cheaper. The sister-in-law says that it was cheap because that hairstyle was usually more expensive besides being very beautiful. The young woman asked if she accused because the salon did not treat her well and much less served a coffee or water and still thinks that 100 reais is cheap. Sister-in-law says that we should not price the work of others, and the young woman replies that where they lived or charged so much and was well treated, and made it clear to her husband that if things continue so she would ask to leave. She replies that then she would change her whole life because no matter the place was always the cost of labor. The young woman respects but would not agree. The sister-in-law says that she also does not agree that she would leave because everything is expensive as markets. The young woman says that nothing is decided and that she would talk more with the man, thus inviting her to enter and eat. A young man greets his sister saying he came to bring documents that his father sent because he would no longer be collecting the rent. The woman questions who would charge now, and he says it would have to be her. The woman says about him knowing he had customer at all times and so could not. Your brother understands but would have to adjust to take care of the salon and the rent charges. She asks who would do it when he cannot, and he says that the father sent himself to take care of other things. The woman asks how he could do and would have to talk to the father and talk about proposals. The brother agrees and that propose with the father and talk to a friend to take care of the salon. The woman says that she already had a person who helped but the clients preferred her work, but states that she would take care of everything. The brother agrees and would help when she can. The woman asks if it was the list of houses and the price that would have to charge, and he says yes and that he would bring another list when he can. The woman explains that she did not know about some houses and her brother explains that the father would have bought. The woman then says she would agree with the father and he says he would help with what he can. The woman asks how things were with his girlfriend and she replies that everything was fine and that she was at home preparing lunch. Her sister agrees and would visit soon enough because the hall was full of customers. The brother understands that he was full of chores and wishes success. The woman thanks him and he says he needed to go now. The woman asks if he never had time to be together but understood. The next day the woman goes to collect the rents, then calls saying that came to collect the rent. Then the man approaches and the two greet as he asks if now she was who would collect the rent of the house. The woman says saying he is in this position and asks if he was the one who lived in the house. The man says he lived in the house for a month and she understands saying she has seen him on the street and he answers the same. The man asks without abusing the goodwill could charge in a couple of days because he has not received and needed the house but not worried because would arrange the money. The woman says to understand that the father does not like to know that the money delayed or that arrived missing. The man agrees but be calm because he understood and makes it clear that he could arrange the money and pay correctly. Explains that he is going through a very difficult moment but that he could be quiet. The woman says she understands because everyone was going through difficult moments and he says that precisely was his situation at the time. The woman says she would then talk to her father because he knew him and knew he was a good man, explaining that she went through the same situation and the owner of the house understood. The man then thanks stating that he could spend 15 days here that would pay correctly. The woman agrees. Then the young wife approaches questioning what happened and her husband explains about the late rent. The woman asks politely asking if it was his wife and the man says yes. The woman then says he changed his mind because his father would be angry and would not work. The man then questions the reason, so asking only 15 days because would pay straight. The woman explains that if it was only him who would leave quietly, but as the young woman knows and knows very well what happened, the young woman explains that she is the woman of the salon. The man then understands and that he knew her from somewhere. The woman explains that she was exactly the salon worker who works hard to win what she wants and treat customers well, so always doing the hairstyles they want and even better. The man understands that his wife did not pay the full money and she says yes because she explained. The man makes it clear that explained that everyone in the neighborhood knows him and now is going through it. The woman then makes it clear that they would have to settle because if they do not have the rent money then they could not stay in the house. The man says to think about what he did and the woman compliments about giving until tomorrow. The man denies, explaining that he could not get the money and that his wife went through a situation where he spent all the money he had. The woman says she is happy that she did not return to the salon, and the young woman says that she would not come back even more for the price and treatment, but the man asks her to stop because it is wrong to put a price on the woman's service, explaining that even if she was charged one, saying to think about what you did for not paying because neither house to live will have more, saying that they are embarrassed for not having money and no home to live. The woman makes it clear that she did not have time to lose and take things out of the house until tomorrow, explains to the young woman to see that the treatment of people speak for themselves, and even wanted to help but does not give. The disappointed man says that if she had given the full money they would still have the house to live in, so calls her to pack up and leave.